Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of The Hunting Ground. And actually today I'm going to be doing something that I really think I should have done with my Xavier video guide a long time ago, but thanks to this one being my latest one, I can actually work on things I have done wrong in the past, and I can fix upon them to provide you guys with even better stuff. So actually what we're going to be doing this video is actually creating what you would call a beginner's Harpie deck. Like I'm gonna make you guys a deck that it's supposed to be really easy to play and understand, so you guys can practice using Harpie ladies at your pace, and then as the videos go on, we will be discussing more and more advanced stuff, and we will be eventually we will turn the deck we will create in this video today to maybe something different, possibly take it to a different path. But the idea behind this video is that we're going to create today the deck that we're going to be using to explain a lot of the stuff, a lot of the plays, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be discussing in other videos in the future. But also I want you guys to have a good idea of how Harpie decks look in a competitive fashion out there. In fact, in front of me I have two different decks that made really good showings this past weekend. One of them made an amazing showing in a top 8 regional in Arizona, and the other one is the one made piloted by the username Rainbow Dragon, and he took this deck to a 9-3 finish on YCS London. By the way, big shout out there, because YCS London was the biggest YCS, or if I'm not mistaken, has been the biggest YCS Europe has ever gotten, and this person got 9-3 in that event with this deck. So mad props to both players, definitely, on bringing Harpies to an event and making a great showing. So I'm going to be discussing both decks. I'm also going to show you briefly what I have currently, but definitely so you guys have an idea of what to expect in a competitive fashion. So let's start with the Arizona deck here. Let's see if I can bring this closer. Give me a second. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Let's look at the monsters. So we definitely have a pretty standard Harpie lineup, 3 Challenger, 3 Harpie Lady, 1 3 Harpie Queen. But then what really stands out is the single Harpie Dancer. And usually when we think about Harpie Dancer, we are thinking about running a 3 Harpie Dancer. It's a 3 must of a card. And and actually this profile surprised me, because I'm still to this day really analyzing the real reason why he only played one card, only one copy of Harpie Dancer. But definitely, I already saw the video of his deck profile, and I was listening all over his explanations of each card, and he was actually thinking of bumping Harpie Dancer to 2, but I'm kind of understanding why he wanted Harpie Dancer. Really, the purpose behind Harpie Dancer in his deck specifically was just pretty much to clear back row and have another Harpie target in case, just have another Harpie in general. But definitely was just to clear back row. But I could understand that maybe, most probably, the 1,200 attack really got in the way of what he really wanted to do with the card. So it was something he had to choose. Maybe he saw that the 1,200 was lacking. I mean, I could be wrong, but definitely I'm seeing that he just wanted the Harpie Dancer to clear some back row, maybe an extra target, maybe an extra Harpie, and that was it. But he was pretty content with the 9 Harpies that we had before Dancer. I can see that clearly in his build. We also see double Pet Dragon. This actually, in my opinion, is what I recommend to any person that is starting to play the deck at the moment. And actually, we're going to be covering that soon when we create our own beginner's deck. But definitely, yeah, 2 Pet Dragon, his analysis was spot on. I mean, he wanted always a target, level 7 target on his deck at all times, and he played certain cards like Queen de Rune de Jean and its extra deck to make sure that when the Pet Dragons that he discarded from the hand were still usable in the graveyard and all that stuff. We can also see, definitely, we can also see double Phoenix Wind Blast, double Icarus Attack, and double Magical Hats, double Pot of Duality. Now, let's start with the Pot of Duality Magical Hat thing, because I was actually, I really agree with this person, and I know why he did this. Like, I saw myself doing this like not too long ago. I recently took out my magical hats from my deck, but then I placed them back again with the Pot of Dualities at the same time, and I just realized it was like, it's to give the deck a lot of consistency and make sure that Hysteric Sign goes off at all times. But I also understand why he chose Pot of Duality, and he really explained it very clearly. Like, this deck is a combo deck, and it requires the pieces, and Pot of Duality lets you search for those pieces as quick as Magical Hats, actually, like in all sense of the word. And then, but the only thing that I didn't agree on was the double Wing Blast. And the only reason why I don't agree with the double Wing Blast was because he's already running 3 Hysteric Parties. So that's 5 cards that discard from the hand. And I've had very bad experiences with running too many cards to discard cards from the hand, because then you lose hand advantage really quickly, and then you're in a very tough spot because you're trying to regain that advantage. And unless the cards you're discarding are Hysteric Signs, I mean, or other Harpies, it's really hard for you to come back in hand advantage, like, per se. But I mean, personally, I love Wing Blast, but I wouldn't run it at 2. In his case, I would have taken out 1, and I personally run 1 Icarus Attack, but I can see why he ran 2. And he actually made a pretty good explanation as to why he ran 2 Icarus Attack, and I'm very agree with that. What I did like was the lack of Solemn Warning, but that he included 2 Vanity's Emptiness. And the thing is that clearly Vanity's Emptiness right now is in some ways is superior to Solemn Warning, because it's for free. It does the same job as Solemn Warning and negates both. It doesn't hamper. It hampers both inherent special summons and special summons coming from effects, so it's pretty much like the same as Solemn Warning. The only thing is that when it comes to inherent special summons, well, you have to like predict them and play Vanity's Emptiness before it happens. But aside from that, it pretty much does the same thing, except it doesn't cost you 2,000 life points, which could be the difference in a game, especially with Dragon Rulers that can OTK you out of nowhere, so you have to be very careful about that. And I also like the single Mirror Force. I mean, he pretty much explained it really clearly. I mean, it was actually just, you know, to stop OTKs and stuff like that, so very simple. So as you can see, I mean, the deck looks very simple, and actually it looks actually very easy to play. And to be honest, I mean, I'm gonna be like, when I make the beginner's deck, it might look a lot like this one, so don't be surprised, because this actually looks like a very simple version of how to play Harpie Ladies. Now let's move on to the YCS London deck from Rainbow Dragon, and as you can see, a pretty similar lineup, but in terms of Harpie Ladies, but this one runs Triple Dancer, and instead of Harpie Lady 1, it runs Cyber Harpie Lady. And I'm pretty sure the reason he ran Cyber Harpie Lady was to have a field presence, and so he could abuse it with Magical Hats as well. Like, as you can see, he runs triple Magical Hats, and basically, you know, he wants that Cyber Harpie Lady to stay on the field, be a beat stick, but then if it has to get run over, then he goes into the Magical Hats thing. But basically, like, he also wants some presence as well, and he's playing that control game. Like, as you can see, he runs 2 Phoenix Shades, 2 Icarus Attack, the Book of Moon, and then he also runs like a counter maneuver, like, if you could say, like, with Trapstone. By the way, Trapstone, a very solid choice. Not only does it have a lot of synergy with Hunting Ground, it also saves your Hysteric Party from blowing up the Harpies on the field. Like, you know, usually the weakness with Hysteric Party is the fact that a simple MST can break your entire lineup, and good players will wait till you go, like, for the battle phase or stuff like that, so they can MST your Hysteric Party, and you lose all your Harpies and pretty much the turn. So that Trapstone there is not just to freeze the back row, but also to save your Harpies from a potential MST threat to your Hysteric Party. So that was very well thought out. And as you can see, this build runs 2 Summoner Monk, obviously to discard spells like Hysteric Sign and possibly even Elegant Egotist. This one runs double Elegant Egotist, and I'm pretty sure I know why he did that. He wanted instant access to XYZs at any moment. Like, I mean, he wanted to, like, not just depend on Hysteric Sign to use Elegant Egotist a lot of times, but he actually wanted basically to have Elegant Egotist as fast as possible. So if he needed a Chidori like at that moment on demand, then he could do the Chidori or a Seraphine or any other XYZ he needed on demand. So definitely I get why he played the double Egotist. And this one also runs double Pet Dragon. I'm pretty sure it's the same reasons as why the Arizona one was also playing double Pet Dragon. And if we go into the extra decks, you will see that actually very similar. This is the London extra deck, and actually has 2 Chidori, 2 Seraphine, 1 Pet Dragon, 1 Maestro, 1 Queen Jadrumtigene, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Cowboy, 1 Photon Poppy, 1 Utopia, 1 Daigusto Emerald, Big Eye, Master Blaze, and Draco Sack. And the only difference between this extra deck and the Arizona one is literally 2 cards. The Arizona one runs a Gem Knight Pearl instead of Utopia for a little more damage, and the Arizona one runs a Lavalval Shane instead of Daigusto Emerald, because unlike the London one, the Arizona one wants to set up the graveyard instead of recuperating the graveyard, something like that. I'm sorry if you guys don't understand, but definitely now I also understand why he was running double Egotist, because Daigusto Emerald makes Egotist more alive than most Harpie decks, since he will be cycling back the Cyber Harpies. Obviously that has a little bit of conflict with Hysteric Party, but I'm pretty sure that this deck's pilot was pretty much like had that notion in mind, and you know, he was conscious about that and knew when to go into Daigusto Emerald and when not to go to Daigusto Emerald. So definitely, I already see like the synergy in this deck, and also the Arizona one. As you can see, the Lavalval Shane, pretty much the only difference in card, Lavalval Shane and Gem Knight Pearl. The other deck ran Utopia and Daigusto Emerald. As for the Lavalval Shane, another thing that I wanted to add, that the player said in his deck profile, basically he used Lavalval Shane as a quick, pretty much a quick engine to put Tempest in the graveyard, and I agree with that 100%. You know, he only ran one Tempest in his entire deck, and Tempest is very crucial to the Harpie strategy, because not only is he a beat stick, he's also a level 7 dragon that has a lot of synergy with Harpie Channeler and can enable your rank 7 play, so that's very important right there. Also from being a beat stick and pushing that extra damage for the OTK. Alright, let's go to the side decks a minute. Curious, I'm very curious, because when you compare the side decks from the London one and the Arizona one, the Arizona one is very trap heavy, and the London one is very monster heavy. Let's go into the Arizona one first. Definitely, I love the Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. I personally think that is an extra deck staple in Harpies, because, I mean, it's not just because you're discarding Hysteric Sign, it's because we literally have searchable spells in the terms of Elegant Egotist with Hysteric Sign, and Harpie Queen searching Hunting Ground. So Cursed Seal, the Forbidden Spell, is actually not dead in our side decks. It's actually very live, and we can use it on demand. And definitely, I love Cursed Seal, the Forbidden Spell, because you use this against spellbooks, it's GG. You use this against dragons, it's GG. I mean, it's a really good card against them. Then he has a Soul Drain for obviously dragon mashup, Marmo mashup, stuff like that, and zombies. He has the Imperial Iron Wall for the dragon matchup and other stuff, like possibly even spellbooks to stop the Spell of Fate, Gossip Match for the dragon matchup, and then Rivalry for the Evil Storm and Constellar matchup. And then a very cool card choice that I really didn't see coming was the Chain Disappearance, and he was saying something about Chain Disappearance being used on the dragon matchup for Debris Dragon, Phalanx, in the Dragoonity mashup and stuff like that, that pretty much can cripple those decks to a point that you're pretty much in a winning position, and I really see where he came from with that. And that's actually very cool. I think I'm going to be trying that myself. Overworked, I'm pretty sure it was for the Fire Fist matchup and only other matchup that basically monsters got increased in attack, stuff like that. And of course, DD Crow for Dragonity matchup, so you can take out those Dragonity Phalanx from the graveyard, and zombies to take out possibly a Zombie Master or a Plague Spreader before activating its effect. And then let's go to the YCS London profile. And it's completely opposite, a bunch of monsters, but actually some very cool monster techs. Definitely Victoria, I can see now why he did it. I mean, revive an opponent's dragon like a blaster or something like that. Attack with it. Well, can you attack with it? Let me make sure. Oh wait, my bad. Okay, I can't check that. I'm not sure if you can attack with it. I'm pretty sure you can, but if not, he would most probably have used it as an XYZ material for a Big Eye, a Dragosack, or Master of Blades. The Kiko for the Dragon mashup, obviously, and the Spellbook mashup. Electric Virus, a very nice choice to get those dragons that are on the field face up, get an Ophion, stuff like that, use it against your opponent, and of course use it to XYZ into Dragosack, Big Eye, Master of Blades, when we're talking about stealing like a Blaster or Redox title, stuff like that. And then we got Consecrated Light, which I'm pretty sure he used it against Black Wings and Evil Swarm. And then we got a Snipe Hunter, which is actually a very cool card choice, because Snipe Hunter discards Harpie Ladies and fuels the graveyard for Hysteric Party, and it also discards Hysteric Sign. And the cool thing about Snipe Hunter is that you can't, I'm not sure if you could, there was a ruling that you couldn't use Stardust against Snipe Hunter because it was random, because you didn't know if it was going to destroy a monster or not. And then even if it ended up destroying one, Stardust couldn't not react to it because Stardust couldn't know for sure if it was going to destroy a card. It was some weird ruling like that. I'm pretty sure he used it because of that. Then we got the 2 Mystical Space Typhoons for, you know, stuff like Skill Drain, Vanity Tempest, stuff like that. The Mind Crushes for any kind of like search heavy deck, and possibly even Mermills, and any deck that really just searches a lot, possibly Spellbooks, Fire Fist, stuff like that. And Imperial Iron Wall for the Dragon mashup, Spellbook mashup, stuff like that. So definitely very interesting side decks. I can see why they clearly got as far as they went. And you know, basically this is like, so you guys have an idea of how Harpies look very competitively. But let's move on to our beginner deck. And let's actually log in again here. It was taking a while. Alright, so let's make our new deck. And we're going to go over here and we're going to click new deck. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just use mine that I have over here. And let's start. Alright, so as for the monsters, I wanted you guys to run the full Harpie lineup. So we're going to be running 3 Harpie Challenger, 3 Harpie Dancer, 3 Harpie Lady 1, 3 Harpie Queen. And then the Sephiroths, I wanted you guys to use it because it's a really cool card and it enables some cool plays. It's actually pretty basic, it's not that hard to use. So I'm going to keep it for the beginner deck. I'm going to take out Effect Baiter though, because I want to run as little hand traps as possible. I'm going to leave the Max Cs, but it's only because you know, obviously there's a lot of special summoning going on in this format, and you know, you guys could, even if it's for a beginner deck, you guys could use a Max C. I'm gonna leave the Dragonity Dark Spear because it's a very basic card to use and is very easy to use in our deck. And you know, we're not gonna be running Synchros in our extra deck, but definitely we're gonna be using Dark Spear's effect to revive Harpies a lot in many of our plays that we're going to be discussing in the video. So I'm going to leave it for the beginners deck. I'm going to take out Delta Flyers if we're not going to be using Synchros in this version of this deck, and I'm going to be putting a second Pet Dragon. Alright, perfect. So we're going to be playing 2 Pet Dragons, so we always have the target on the deck, and you guys can see, and you guys can basically pretty much, like, you know, take notice of the plays that we can do with Harpie Challenger and all this stuff. Alright, let's go back to the spells. I'm going to leave 3 Hunting Ground because I want you guys to have the feel of the deck and the field spell. Obviously 3 Historic Sign, because it's an instant staple. This card is very important, cannot be run in less than 3s. You need 3 Historic Sign. I'm going to leave the Book of Moon, because it's a very easy to use card, and it's really good actually. There's no reason why not to run it. And I'm going to be only running 1 Elegant Egotist, because I don't want you guys to be complicated too much with the double Egotist stuff like that. That's kind of more advanced. We're going to be covering that later. I'm going to be leaving 2 Typhoons, because they're also very easy to use cards, and pretty much they simplify a lot of stuff and get you out of a lot of problems. And then I'm going to be leaving the 4 staples, the Solemn Warning, Bottomless, Compulsory, Torrential. I'm going to be leaving the Phoenix Wind Blast, but only 1 copy, because it's a very, very good card in our deck and has a lot of synergy at the Icarus attack. And then we're going to be actually using Pot of Duality. Let me search for Pot of Duality here. Forgot about that. Obviously, Pot of Duality, I wanted you guys to use it because it's a consistency booster card. We're only going to be playing 1 Magical Hats, because, I mean, Magical Hats looks like an easy card to use, but it's actually, it requires some thought and stuff. And I'm going to teach you with only 1 copy first, and then as we progress, we're going to be adding a 2nd copy, possibly even a 3rd copy. But for now, we're just going to be using 1, so you guys can practice and get the feel for it first. And then we're going to be possibly adding more copies. But definitely the trap lineup will look something like this. 2 Hysteric Parties. I personally think that's the perfect number. You guys saw 3 Hysteric Parties in both decks on the competitive ones, but you will be actually surprised how much impact a 3rd Hysteric Party does in your deck rather than 2. So we're going to start with 2 for now, but eventually, as the videos progress, we're going to be changing this, and we're most probably going to be going up for 3. So stay tuned for that one. As for the extra deck, we're going to be taking out the Synchros for now. I promise we will use Synchros eventually, especially when we discuss the Divine Wind variant, which will be using stuff like Delta Flyer, stuff like that. So you will be seeing Synchros in the future, but for now, let's make it XYZ centric. I was actually planning on using double Pet Dragon, because I want you guys to get the feel of Pet Dragon, and a double Pet Dragon, like double Phantasmal Dragon. Oh wait, sorry, that's too many dragons. Phantasmal. There we go. So we're gonna be running 2 Phantasmal Dragons, 3 Harpie Lightning Shidoris, because I really feel it's one of the most important XYZs out there. We're gonna be running a Lavabo Shane. And we're also going to be running an Elegant Egotist. Sorry, a Daigusto Emerald. I want you guys to get the feeling of both cards. And last but not least, we're going to be running a Black Ship of Corn. Let's see. Somewhere around here. There we go. And of course, if you guys have the cards, feel free to use a Big Eye or a Draco set. Otherwise, I'm gonna be you can be just like me, which I'm gonna be using a Gaia Charger and a Master of Blades. But definitely, it's supposed to be a Big Eye Draco set, so I'm going to be referencing a lot those 2 cards instead of Master of Blades and the Gaia Charger, because it's supposed to be Big Eye and Draco set. They're clearly the better options. And I think it's looking pretty solid right there. We're going to be leaving that left. It looks like a solid. You know what? Actually, thinking about it, you guys need... I would like more options for the beginner deck. So let's take out that 2nd Phantasmal Dragon, which we will not be using. And let's put something like Utopia. Yeah. This is something that you guys... I'm pretty sure most of this extra deck is very easy to get by. Gaia Cowboy got reprinted. Abyss Dweller is like $5. Queen Dragoon Dijin is not that hard to find. Maestro, a lot of people have it. Seraphine is a rare card. Phantasmal Dragon is a rare card. And then the Lightning Chidoris, well, you might have to do a little bit of investigation, but they're under like $5. It shouldn't be that hard to find. The only hard cards would be the Daigusto Emerald, Lava Shane, Dragossack, and Big Eye. Those 4 cards will be like the most difficult. Black Ship, if you live in Europe, it's a little harder to get. And if you're in the US and you didn't get the manga, well, it's also a little hard, but everybody and their mother has Utopia, so this extra deck shouldn't be that hard to make. If you're having a lot of problems with Big Eye and Dracossack, then feel free to use Master of Blaze and Gaia Charger. That's the 2 monsters that I will be personally using in my own beginner's deck extra deck, which, by the way, I have every card here in real life, so I will be doing the videos with the live cards instead of doing network, so you guys can see them more clearly and stuff like that. And as for the side deck, I mean, I'm possibly going to be using this one. This is the one I personally use, and it looks pretty basic. It covers a lot of decks, so we're most probably going to be using this one. If I have to change something, I'll do it, but we're most probably going to be using this one. So take a good look at the beginner's deck. This is the deck that we will be using in the rest of the videos, and feel free to make this at home or in Dueling Network. Feel free to find these cards. It shouldn't be that hard. Possibly when it comes to the main deck, possibly the only hard part would be the Pet Dragons and the Harpie Dancer right now, but they came out in Legendary Collection and they're not actually that expensive. So if you're looking to make a Harpie deck right now, I'm gonna be using this one as the mold, as pretty much the standard for the videos, and then as the videos go by, we might be making some changes, and you're going to be seeing this deck evolve into something more. Okay, and we'll also, if a new Harpie deck tops, we're also going to be talking about it, stuff like that, so you guys get an insight of what's going out there. Anyways, definitely, I think this is it for this video. I hope you guys learned a lot of how to make a Harpie deck, and I really hope that this initial version will give you a good feel of how the deck plays. And as more as you practice, like the more you guys practice, like hopefully you guys will learn to appreciate more of the deck, and then we could be moving into more advanced stuff in the future. So for now, I'll leave this as it is, and see you guys in the next episode of The Hunting Ground. Thank you.